Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Secret Strategy Game and we are returning to a Let's Play of Carrier Battles 4. We're playing the Seaplane DLC and the Battle of the Coral Sea. It is the third day and it is just about to become dawn. So I have set up our air missions. Mostly it is focusing around sending our search planes out and down here in these Task Force 4 and 9. So I want to say 2nd and 3rd Carrier Division of Japan. These guys are going to prepare for launch on the naval side, so a lot of planes are going to be stationed on the deck, on the runway, just ready to strike anywhere where we do find American ships. If we do find any, we don't know. Yesterday we didn't find anything in this vicinity down here, although the day before we certainly knew that there were some cruisers abound in this area. We don't know for now, so that's will have to be fine. I do think we want to take Task Force 8 over here, and I haven't set these guys up yet, so let's make sure that you guys do all go for some search patterns over here with the float planes. I don't think we need to do a 360 search really. I think a 180 degree search to the south is going to be sufficient, and I think that's fine. Right, and then we've got the carrier itself over here. Now, we don't want these guys to linger for too long, but I think we do want to put up some combat air patrol, and that's going to be alright. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to send up these bombers here really to Task Force 10, just to make sure that these guys are going to be stationed over there. That's going to be okay. And then in Task Force 10, what we're going to do is, of course, we're going to send out the float planes to make sure that we are finding anything that might need to be found. Let's do a 240 degree search here, sort of in this area here, and I think we're going to do that with both. I don't expect the enemy to be northwest of us, so that should be fine. Okay, we do have some more planes over here. You know what? One we're going to keep in reserve just in case. That should be okay. And then the two carriers themselves. Now, you guys do have an A5M? I don't know why you would. Okay, let's send you on combat air patrol, and then the other guys, the V5 here, you are likewise going to be prepared for torpedo strike. 3 of you guys are going to be prepared for... Sorry, I should take this one. 3 of you guys, so 2 more should be prepared for bombs. And then we're going to have 2 fighters here that are going to be on an escort mission. Just in case we do find anyone, we do want to be able to react very quickly if that should happen. We don't know whether it will, but I think it's going to be alright this way. Let's also send a couple of planes here into air patrol. And I think 3 of them are going to be fine. So, that is that. Other than that, we really want to primarily protect the area here around New Guinea. And I think to that effect, yeah, you are actually launching your planes, so that's fine. You're doing that too. You know what? You guys have a range of 52 hexes. Let's briefly check. That's from up over here. Let's see where that exactly brings us. So if I see over here, 52 hexes, that means you've got a range pretty much of 25 hexes, right? You should actually be able to make it towards Cairns. So, you know what, we are going to do that, just because I really want to know how that works and if it does really work. So up over here, these 2 guys, or these 4 planes I should say, these should be able to make it on a strike pattern here with 2 planes from you and then 2 planes from you. You guys are all going to make it down here towards Cairns. There we go. And you should be able to make that. You're going to launch at 5:20. You're going to be over the target at 9:20. And you're going to be home by just early afternoon. And that's fine. You don't have any fighter cover, so it's a slightly risky mission. But I do just want to find out whether and how that works. So that I think is pretty fantastic. Good. Let's see whether we are going to find anything. It is 3 more phases until daylight, so that should happen around 5 o'clock. Or 5:20 rather. There we go. Okay, there is daylight. We haven't really sent out search planes yet, but they are going to launch soon. We're going to soon launch, going to soon see the planes that are going to come down here towards Cairns. Yeah, there we go. That's the first strike. First search patterns are starting to emerge from here. Now, notice there's a lot of stuff that could impede our our visibility, so that is a bit of an issue. Why are you landing? Oh yeah, because you're the guys starting from Task Force 8. That's fine. Now, we've got a good number of fighters here. How about up over here? Do we have any combat air patrol? Yeah, okay. You guys, you know what? Do go to Lae And do land in Lae as well. Why don't you have a safe return base? You know what, we're going to do that anyway, because I don't know why you shouldn't be able to do that. You've got 10 movement points. So I think that should be alright, shouldn't it? Yeah, we'll see. And then in Lae itself, you guys should be able to send someone over here to protect Task Force 6. And that's fine too. Yeah, there we go. And likewise here, Task Force 8. You guys should have someone that we can send to Task Force 7. And you're going to protect them. There we go. Fantastic. Let's see whether we find any surface ships. I don't know whether we will. I'm not willing to risk my carriers by sailing just right into the Coral Sea. There might be a lot of Australian planes based in these 3 bases down there. So I really don't want to risk that too much. And by the way, you can see our search patterns emerging from here. And there's one fast search pattern and one slower one, a little bit more thorough if you want. Our troops are landing and will have indeed completed the unlanding on Port Moresby. So that's fine. That I think is you guys. Can I actually send you up anywhere now? No, I can't. Okay, that's alright though. Can I send you away now? No. Okay, fine. So you'll have to stay there. But this is good. It's giving us control of the objective, of course, that we were looking for. So that is fairly nice. And we are under cloud cover here, so that's good too. Light storms, actually. So that is all pretty fantastic. But why are there no American fleets? Just none. At least there should be cruisers around. Of course, they could well sail back towards some other place. What's the problem here with you? You don't have enough endurance. Well, I think you should actually, so let's see about that. Okay, so this task force is now going to retire, which I think is going to be alright. Is it going to be better to send you back towards the other base there? Well, it's just 1 hex to go to Lae. Maybe we're going to get the airfield at Port Moresby. I doubt it, but maybe that's going to be the case. I don't think we're going to be getting it ready and up. It's just been basically destroyed, so yeah, I shouldn't think so. And no one is in any of these hexes. That is amazing, and by amazing I mean slightly worrying, because they must be somewhere, and it could be well that they are in this cloud cover here, and we just don't see them. Which would of course be properly horrible. I don't want these cruisers to stumble into my carriers, of course. Right, you guys have at least reached Cairns down there, so let's see. Okay, there's no aircraft based in Cairns, so that's interesting. A little bit of AA fire, but not really too drastic force. Yeah, we are bombing it, but of course, since there's no plane here, it's basically okay. Yeah, you guys don't really have enough range, especially these guys. That's peculiar. I thought they would, but maybe it's due to the rounding and stuff. But yeah, it seems like we are not finding any Americans here. That is concerning. Well, I think the entire scenario here is set to be structured around a 3-day run, so maybe it's just going to be that. I don't know. Okay, so the second guys here have withdrawn because the Task Force 7 has finished unloading it as well. And we have not gotten the hold of this thing. Right, you've got a distance to cover of 12 hexes. That does mean 2 of you guys are going to go down. And I think there's just nothing that we can do about that. I mean, this is 1 hex less, but that's not going to make much of a difference. No, I think you are a little bit screwed due to some rounding or another, but yeah, that's going to be alright. And by the way, notice how these search patterns here are still going out from this base down here. Now, I want to take Task Force 4, you guys here, and send out another float plane here, just to make sure that we are really covering whatever needs to be sent out here, just to make sure we are doing all the searches that we can. If there's anything down here, I want to know. Otherwise, we might as well start to withdraw our carriers here. We've gotten our most important objectives, so I think that is going to be fine. And in fact, that is what we're going to do. Yeah, we're going to send everyone over there. Well, the battleships, you know what? You guys can actually sail towards this area there. That's going to be alright. Yeah, so everyone down there is going to slowly withdraw under the cloud cover towards safe bases. I'm going to send out some further searches here as these search planes are in fact coming back already. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, nothing else really to see. Interesting. I would have really expected them to show up down here. We also need to be slightly careful here with these planes down there. So firstly, maybe you guys, can you restart your searches? It is late in the afternoon already, since so little happened here, but I think it's going to be alright. Let's get you into the air as well, and then have one of you guys come back to cover for these gentlemen there, and that should be okay. Right, yeah, further searches going out, but nothing really that should strike us as too dangerous from the American side. And you know, I'm really concerned that I'm going to jinx it here just by saying something like that. But so far, everything is alright, and indeed, here we go. This does seem to be the last turn, I think. So, in order to win, a side must score at least 20 points and more than its opponent. The level of victory depends on the ratio of points. Carriers do give a lot of points, planes do give very little points, but there's a catch in the... There was a catch in this narrow description in that Japanese losses do count a little bit more because they can really ill afford to lose them. And that being said, we have achieved a strategic victory here at 83 points compared to 16 on the American side. Now, I'm actually thinking that even though they say it's the best score that we can achieve, I'm not sure this is entirely correct, because I understand why we lost 3 points here. That's basically due to our massive plane losses, but I mean, compare that to the American ones. They've lost hundreds of planes down here, including B-17s and all of that. But more importantly, Lexington and Yorktown have gone down, as well as the Chester, which doesn't ring a bell for me, but I'm sure it had a role in World War II. And probably in the Battle of the Coral Sea. So these guys did go down. I'm not sure whether they truly had at any point any other surface vessels here. But yeah, you can see Yorktown being hit by 2 torpedoes and 3 bombs, listing with a damaged flight deck, minor fires, but a lot of structural damage. So that did go down. And Lexington hit by 3 torpedoes, no bombs, just torpedoes. And that does conform to a little bit to the point that the Japanese were much better in torpedo bombers. And not so great at dive bombers, really. Most of their really damaging stuff was due to torpedoes. With the exception of the Pearl Harbor attack, of course. Right. So that's nice. Chester, 1 torpedo, 1 bomb. Pretty slow damage, small damage here. But 1 main turret destroyed, so that might have well ended her life as well. Interesting to see that. Also, just notice how many planes we shot down, including a very large number of P-39s, which are not carrier-based planes. These were planes that we took out on the Australian side, so it's interesting to see that that has happened. I'm not sure whether we can see sort of the final map state and the... Okay, yeah, the Americans did withdraw, or the Allies did withdraw, right here to the south of the map. We could have caught maybe Portland, New Orleans, Minneapolis, a couple of destroyers. Chicago, Australia, Astoria, and then there's Chester. Chester did receive some damage, it seems, but I can't quite see how much. Do we know anything about their number of planes in any of these bases? Doesn't seem like we do, but yeah. Still, I mean, we could have tried to catch them, but we didn't know whether Yorktown and whether Enterprise and Hornet were in the vicinity, so I think it was still prudent to linger in the Solomon Sea, even though these are very confined waters, and potentially they could have sent B-17s against us, but they did historically, but not in the Battle of the Coral Sea, but for example at Wake and Midway, of course, the Japanese were subject to B-17 strikes, but quite unsuccessfully, honestly, and that is reflected in the game. That being said, it's a bit of a short episode, but thank you very much for watching. Do let me know whether you would like to see more of Carrier Battles 4 on this channel, but for now I enjoyed this battle a lot. And do you know what? I'm going to link one very interesting video from a channel that I very much like. It's not actually a gaming channel, but it is a game it is a channel that is very interesting if you're liking this sort of setup here. So, that being said, thank you very much for watching. Do leave a like, and I hope to see you around on another episode someday. Bye bye, guys.